Today we address our financial issues and work on the station for Burnout. I'm Mostly Average Matt, and this is Planet Coaster Horror Mode. Hello and welcome back to Planet Coaster Horror Challenge Mode. We are here in the Mostly Average Park, and if you remember from last episode, we have depleted our funds from $500,000 to $54,000 over the last few episodes with the construction of what we've been doing over here. A lot of terrain work and whatnot. And we are just continuously losing $6,000 a month on just operating the park. So we are here paused, like we always are, to get the better frame rates while we're doing the park management features. But we need some big changes today. So as we go through here, we got our overlook. Nothing too crazy in here that's really going to stand out to us. But we have the fireball is a really good value, and the bubble shot is a really good value. So that is good to note. We don't need to worry about this. We are going to change ticket prices. So we are going to drop them to $65. And we will change this to $60. Priority passes, we aren't selling those yet. There are quite a bit of security things going on, but that's fine. Most people, 3/4 of the people are saying they love the park and they don't ever want to leave. And that is part of the problem with the current model that we are doing, where we only charge for park entry. So that, unfortunately, is going to stop. So, like I said, we are changing the park entrance fee. You can see all of our negativity here. 655, basically 6. Just losing every single place that we could. Our research, we're already done with that. We're not worried about marketing. Our staff, everything seems to be good here. We have all of our people happy. We have everything kind of dialed in terms of where we should be paying people to keep them happy, which is very nice that we don't need to worry about it. Even the people that we don't have all the way trained up here, there was someone, I think was it Brianna? It must have been, because she's the only one that's super low yet. Where she just wasn't getting, she was just angry about everything. So we gave her a little bit more money to kind of to make her happier, or shut her up, whatever way you want to look at it. But everything else is looking great. We got all about the money. Morris Monroe, he's extremely happy. Our security guards are good. And as I always do, the plug here is if you want to become a part of the channel and work for the Mostly Average Park, let me know in the comment section. Let me know what position you want to work at, and we will add you in to whatever it is. We'll get you trained up to the max that you can, and we'll get you paid, and we'll have you working here in the park. So if you want to be a part of it, I mention Julie and Rose every single episode. So yeah, let me know in those comments. But for today, we're not going to touch too much on it, because we're doing some other things here. Our adult groups, or groups percentage, this is something that I think we need to try and address, but I think we are addressing it, just we're not going to be doing it in this episode. And that is the teen groups. I think we want more teens to be in the park and not stuck in line, or just not here in general. So we're going to take a look at that. Our guest slots, not paying that much for Gulpy Speedway. I spent loads on park entry. Sure. That's going to stay the same. We're not changing that at all. And I always struggle to get this in. Look at that line. That's about where we want it to be. We don't want it to be full, but we don't want it to be perfect either. So So that's great. The queue for Bubble Shot was full. That is a problem. Everything, the queue for Bubble Shot was quite quick though. 8% of people say that, which is insane, considering it's full. So that's very nice. But here is where we're going to do the bulk of our work. So we're going to go through attraction by attraction. Orbiter is a very good value, and that is the wild blue that is right there. And, you know, I don't know what to charge. I really don't. But what I can tell you is we're going to bring the sequences back up. Now, we're going to try $5. We'll see where that gets us. That's going to piss a lot of these people off, but that's fine. Navigator. Right over here. This is very, very light. I don't even think people ride this anymore. But we are going to put that back to its original glory and get that going on here. So this one will say... We'll say 3. Whoa. It's not very expensive to begin with, so let's go with $2. We'll see where that gets us. The brain drain. Again, a lot of these things are going to have to be retested and piss a lot of people off. This we know is great, so we are going to charge $7 for him, because I think we can get away with that. Fireball, we don't need to close this guy. $8.72, I think we can probably just $5 him, and that should start reducing the number of people that are willing to wait. We don't have anything going on over here. In Vertigo, at $5.54, I'm gonna add two double loops into that, so it's gonna have to do it, and we'll give this guy a 4. That should be fine. Our carousel, yep. We need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then that we know we can charge a ton for. Carousel's going to be $5, so that should be all right. Bubble Shot at $8.58, so this guy should be able to be 7. And Whirlpool, can I get Whirl? Can I click on him from here? Doesn't seem like it. Yeah, there we go. At $5.29, he should be able to be... We'll give him 4. Actually, the more I'm thinking about it, let's get him up to $5 as well. We'll reduce the carousel to 4, because I just can't justify charging that much. So hopefully this is going to reduce, like, people are going to have to go to the ATM, or people are going to have to leave because they don't have money to get on anything anymore. They're not just going to hang out in the park and stand in line for ages. So I think that should work. Kickflip is good. Fireball is good. Bubble Shot is good. Gulpy Speedway is fine. Oh, Carbonator. Ignored this ride completely. 304. He's honestly probably at $2, which is fine. Or can I? Yeah, I need to... Let's see here. We'll just do spin fast. Spin fast, spin fast, spin fast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And spin fast. So that should get them going here. Now we'll need to pay attention to everything. Everything we're going to need to pay attention to. I'm not too concerned about the shops right now because we're going to see how this impacts them. Same with the facilities. Hopefully we can start making money so we can open up the facilities and shops that we've closed. The coaster crane, those are fine, whatever. It might impact the restroom or the hotels and restaurant quite a bit, but I think those are both in a state where we're okay. They're so cheap. The standard rooms are so cheap. But let's see. Let's see here. Where do I charge people? I just had it. Let's try 58 and 63. Let's give that a go. Our restaurant, I'm going to assume so many great, perfect for teens, practically deserted. I think that is probably about as good as it's going to get. We're going to lose a lot of money on that too, so I think that's fine. Our security is, I mean, we're going to lose money on that any way you look at it. So yeah, I think we are set for what we can do right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fast forward for a little bit and see where we go in terms of money. I'm not going to be doing any build for this portion. Maybe we'll do build later if we start to make money, but we're going to see where we go. So I will see you once this experiment is over. Okay, so we have some data. You can see we made a little bit of money, not much. Basically broke even for it, but you can see the lines have shifted quite a bit. Quite a bit. Is this broken? Is that why people aren't? Why are people wanting to ride the Gulpy Speedway? I cannot see. No, it's not broken. Whatever reason. So let's take a look here and try and dive into what is happening right now with our park. So if we start back over at the orbiter, we let it run. I don't remember what date it was when it started. The orbiter is broken, so that is a terrible place to start. Let's move on to the navigator. At $2, we are seeing, I want to go on navigator. The queue for navigator was quite quick, which is interesting because I did see quite a few people saying I wasn't paying that much. So we're going to drop this to $1.50. If we move on to the brain drain, we definitely have people that don't want to pay much. And we will drop this to $3 and see how that's going to work. And then the kickflip also, a lot of people do not like this one. Now people are riding them, but we need more people to ride. So this, we'll say the premier flat rides are going to be $5. So that includes the kickflip. That will not include orbiter because apparently orbiter is not that. The kickflip is probably going to be the max. The max for that. Gulpy Speedway, we're keeping you at 5. I don't know what's going on with you. The carousel is where a ton of people are at now. I'm not queuing that long. Let's try carousel. We will argue that 450 is too much for a carousel, but people will still pay for it. And this is probably going to be one of our most profitable rides because the line's going to stay full. In Vertigo, we will make this $4 because I think we'll get more people. Yeah, they don't want to pay for that. Bubble Shot, they definitely don't like that. This is a low-end kiddie coaster, so we're not going to charge a ton for that. The Scissor, way under. A really good value. We increased it so much that we're going to charge $4. We're going to double the price on them and see how that goes. And then Whirlpool, I don't think people want to pay for Whirlpool. So we will drop this down to $3, and that should be good. The only other one that I think we need to do is Fireball, and I'm not paying that much. You know what? It's keeping them busy, full. So we're gonna stay with that, and we are going to lower. We're gonna take a stab at the dark and say this is gonna be $4, and that's gonna work for us. Because Wild Blue and Vertigo should be on the same level. So I think we're all right with that. Let's go a little bit longer, and we'll be back to see how we're doing. Alright, so we are starting to get somewhere. We made $10,000, which is great. In the middle of all this, I actually forgot to mention in the last cut, we somehow completed the Achieve a Park Balance bonus of 180. So we're going to take those $2,000 and be on our merry way. But you can start to see we're starting to hit our stride with our lines and how much to pay. So 20 minutes, honestly, at $4, that's fine. The people that are upset were people here that probably paid the $75 to come in. So I understand that. There are no complaints about not wanting to ride because of the money. So certainly going to maintain that $1.50 for that. The brain drain, we are getting some complaints, and we don't have a lot of people now. There's not a lot of people over here at the moment, so I'm not exactly sure why, but we will go down to $2.50 to try and get people over here. The kickflip, they absolutely don't want anything to do with $5, so we're gonna drop it to $4.50, which is fine. Fireball, it just broke down, but the line consistently stayed to the bottom of these stairs here, so we're not gonna mess with that at all. I think that's good. If we move over here, this absolutely drives me up a wall, but at the same sense, they're actually... it's actually not too bad anymore. It was extremely long. I wonder if it broke down at some point and everyone had to leave, but it's been holding the line for an extended period of time. Insanity, people don't necessarily want to ride this, but at the same time we're getting close to using up that second gondola, second side, so that's good. The Carbonator, all of a sudden at 828 is just killing it. And it is making money now, which is insane that it's actually doing that. And, you know, I think we're I think we're on the right track, because that's a much longer line than I thought we would get, so we're just going to keep doing what we're doing with that. Our bubble shot roller coaster here, still, people don't want anything to do with it, so we'll drop it down to 450, try and draw people in. And then Whirlpool, we don't really have a lot of people back here either. So, we're looking good. Let's drop this to 250, why not? Try and get some people on it. And the last thing I want to do, touch base on the Gulpy Speedway line, a little more than what we want. So we're going to pull this up to $6 and hopefully that'll draw some people away. We don't want this many people standing in line. They are probably in line for 30 minutes. That is far too long. So we'll run the speed and we'll come back in a little bit. So we have some good news finally. We have solved our problems, our financial problems. So we start to do a time lapse here to kind of wrap the whole episode together, and we focus on the Burnout Station, as you probably figured out from the intro when I said it. But we completely reroute the pathwork for the queue and bring it underneath the station now. And we're going to build this into a parking garage type structure. And, you know, I try and rework the paths out front because I wasn't a huge fan of the way they were, and I changed it a few times throughout. But I do end up finding something that I'm happy with. We get our priority pass line in there, we add in some of the benches around, and it doesn't look like it's coming all together all too soon here. We do make it look very boring at the beginning, and you know, I think we really add a lot once we start getting in some of the detail work. It is basically taking a big square and trying to make it not look like just a big square. So we do have a lot of trim work that we do here. From my reference picture, I think this looks really good. It kind of works well with the brick to give it kind of more of like that modern look. So I'm pretty happy with that. I'm also somewhat changing the direction of the entire pathway that goes down and kind of follows the coaster with the track rides and everything. And we're probably going to do some type of like city type buildings, which is going to be pretty interesting. I do want to see if I can get a drop tower in. Maybe not drop tower, but the launch drop towers, launch free files, whatever you want to call them. And see if I can get that in and incorporate that into a building and add in some cool details for the ride itself. But that'll be at a later episode. One thing that you do see is this is, oh man, it still continues to be a boring building all the way through. I've also struggled a lot. I tried to make it faster for myself by copy and pasting things, and then I would change it all, and then I'd be like, you know what, I'm not going to copy and paste this because I'm going to change it, and then I wouldn't change it, so then I'd have to try and find a way to copy and paste things again. And I did everything the wrong way the first time, and then I got a little bit better as I went on, but I do think it turns out really good. Trying to solve some problems with overlapping at the moment, and I eventually come up with something where I think I sink the brick pillars in a little bit, which kind of rounds out everything. I also, in the middle of all of this, had an issue with the recording software. So that's why you're seeing this video several weeks after the previous episode, because I was having some issues with the recording software. I did lose some footage, but thankfully I caught it immediately. So it was a very short amount of footage that I ended up losing. And but yeah, this video was intended to come out the week after Thanksgiving, and here we are getting close to Christmas. So I hope everyone did have a great Thanksgiving, and I hope you're enjoying the video as well. But this build, man, I tried so many different things trying to keep the entire thing open, kind of give that parking lot feel. You'll see that the trim that I add here kind of it works eventually, in my opinion. We add in some chain link fences, maybe sometime in here. Might be a little bit further in, but you know, we're really messing around. Also, because I had all these issues, a lot of this recording was done back during that week of Thanksgiving, or actually I think it was the week before Thanksgiving, and then I haven't done it. It was 3 weeks until I got to get back in and actually start recording again, so I don't necessarily remember everything that I did in this video. But it still works out. I know what the final product looks like, which is great. And yeah, I mean, it's certainly something that I enjoyed actually building this. I enjoyed building a box, a big square, which is pretty interesting. And oh, actually, I think I just, boy, that was here and gone in a flash, but I think I closed Chops. I think that was one of the big contributors to our negative amount of money. And we closed Chops, and by the end of this video, I think we have $100,000. Now, I did do a lot of work because I missed so many episodes, or I missed so many weeks, so I was able to put in a lot more time in order to do that. And I think it paid dividends. So one thing that we're working on here is we're trying to get our logo into the top, and I try a few different things here, and I settle with bricks in the back. We keep that little underline type thing there because I think it kind of brings it together a little bit. The one thing I'm not super thrilled with is the color of the letters. The red's fine, I'm not too concerned about that, but the white kind of sticks out the wrong way in my opinion. We do it on both sides. I don't think it looks too bad anymore, but or when it gets to the end, but there's something about it that just doesn't really grinds my gears. We're doing some flooring now. So the flooring is interesting. Just smooth concrete tiles that we lowered just high enough to sit above. And I was really concerned about this. I thought that might make it look a little too bland, too much tan, too much brown. But it really doesn't, and I'm not really sure why. It just seems to work. Speaking of things that seem to not work, my dog is probably going to start annoying me, so you might start hearing her in the background. She's got a little bit of a cough going on right now, so I'm sorry if you can hear that. And here we are. Now we're adding in our fences. You can see that there's a lot of different fence areas. I do remove the fences for the path that are with the path, and I think that makes it look a lot better, to be honest. But we just add fences everywhere, and this is one of those things where I was like, I don't know if I'm going to keep it, and then I did them all by hand instead of just duplicating. Oh, there, I tried to duplicate some, and it didn't need all of it to be duplicated. So that's awesome. One thing I was struggling with was this corner that I'm currently working on, and I'm no longer working on. I originally had a plan to have like a little tower thing that would cover like that little outside piece, but that wasn't going to work the way I was intending it to. And you'll see that a little bit later in the video, because right now we are working on some pillars, and these pillars were very annoying, and I still haven't lined them up perfectly on top, and I don't think I'm gonna. I think I'm just gonna leave it be. We may throw some cars up top, just for some theming's sake. Let me know if I should, because it kind of seems pointless. Well, it definitely is pointless, but I don't know if you'd actually be able to see the cars up top. So here I'm actually taking a look. There's a little corner there that doesn't have anything. I didn't fully fence in the area, and I eventually turned that into like a little room, if you will, just made out of glass, and I think that kind of breaks up the box as well. Addressing some Z fighting, adding in some little extra details for the pathing to just kind of cover that up a little bit. We do eventually take a look at lighting as well. Oh, here we are, just adding some random decorations just to kind of brighten it up a little bit, and keep with the road signs. I thought about doing some more custom signage, but I just didn't think I needed to. I have the big Burnout sign. I thought that was good enough. We do add some signage out front here that we will need to set as advertising our roller coaster. And I think we're now getting to the point where my most recent builds. So this is a super long time lapse, and like I said, I'm trying to catch up for some missed time working on this. We completely restructure the path again, which is great. We add in this very, very generic entrance sign for what would be the entrance to our parking garage, and I actually think this is one of my favorite parts of this entire build, is this little stupid sign that just says enter on top with a little height restriction sign on it. We do get it in our lights, which kind of makes I mean, it doesn't really make the area pop because it's a parking garage, but it certainly lights up the area. Yeah, this is not the most entertaining part of the video, but it doesn't take all that long for me to get the lights in here, and I think I eventually, I came up with a better idea to just put them in up top and then sync them in afterwards, and we did that so much faster. We do have to cover up some of the burnout signs in front there, and then now we start addressing the little ramp here off to the side here. And like I said, I wanted this to be a little tower at the beginning, but I could not visualize that in my head, so we just go with this little ramp type thing, and I think it turns out great. We add in a few lights on these pillars, and they're the spooky lights, but I think they look good for what we were trying to accomplish. We also debated having a little viewing thing for people as the ride comes down, but that wasn't going to work right. I figured out that the path that is there, if I deleted that, it deletes almost all the way around the Gulpy Speedway. So yeah, we didn't want to mess with that all that much. We had some issues with some of the terrain, which we had to adjust some of our settings and then go back in and fix it and then adjust our settings back. And then we add this. I was struggling with how to fix the area in front of the burnout sign here, so I said, you know what, let's see if we can just do like a little concrete curb type thing here. And I think it turns out really nice. I kind of wish I would have done this concrete style over by the Gulpy Speedway, but we're not really going to worry. We're just going to say, you know what, this was done at a later date because it was, and that's why it looks different. But you can see I go all the way around here, and I don't go all the way around yet apparently. I add in our fences, but I left enough space that I can put benches on the concrete curb, and it's like just the perfect amount of space. And it's off the path, so it's not taking up any of the path, but it also looks like it's still a part of it. So right there you can see I add them in, and it's just like the perfect amount. So I was like, oh, I really like the way that looks. But I think I want to add in some food stalls. Let's see if we can get a Tiki Chiki. And it doesn't connect to the path, and I couldn't delete it because it is that huge piece of path that is going to delete everything if I delete it. So we quickly cancel that and move on to expanding our curb with our hedges. We screw up a little bit there at the end because I get the hedge a little bit too close to everything, so it didn't quite work out. So we readjust those, get the benches in, and everything is fine. But now we're just kind of adding some scenery, some foliage, just to kind of break up the square part of the building. I think you would see those Tuscan trees in that type of fashion, just to kind of cover up that big brick wall. And then we go back over into the courtyard area here, and we add our fence in for safety, because safety is very important. Even though these guys don't do anything out of the ordinary. We add in a few rocks, a few flowers, a few trees, just to kind of break up the area. And pretty much all we need to do at this point is... Oh, phone. Why phone? We put in our terrain work, and then I was like, you know what, that's a lot of asphalt. So we try and do a... it wasn't going to be a fountain, but I knew the fountain piece might be what we needed to get everything to look right here. It was going to be just like a little centerpiece type thing, and I did not like the way it was coming together at all. So we go for just a long flower pot type thing. We tried a few different types of planners in all of this, and eventually the long, narrow planner I think came out the best for all of it. I think what the current one that's on here is just too big, way too large for everything. Now we're going into it where we get to the final product, where we were going to add some trees into this, but they end up being a little bit too tall and taken away from some of the sight lines, so we just leave it at the small bushes. We make sure to get our barriers in there because we don't know where guests can walk at this point because of the terrain. It would be nice to get some benches around it, but that is just not in the card, so we settle for some lights that we can get to light up the area. We add in more of those spooky lights get some spotlights to light up our different signs and whatnot. Add a few around the front here, and everything is looking pretty good at the moment. So, oh, we have a little bit of queue work here to do. We just add a few hedges. We get in some red bushes, and we of course just color it. And then we're like, you know what, let's put a tree here. And then I was like, oh, I completely forgot to close up this area here. So we get some of those glass walls. We struggle to get them put into the right spot, but eventually we do get it. And it just adds a nice little dimension to the building compared to everything else that we have going on. Get a few more lights in, and we are almost done. Almost done with what we have. We have one little part where we have to figure out a canopy going across, and I thought it wasn't going to look all that great at the beginning, but it ends up turning out pretty nice and fitting into the whole area. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with all of it. And then the last thing that we do, which we are coming up here once we finish this, we do a live walkthrough of the new area. Now, it is very choppy because I forgot to put it on pause, so we took the audio out. But I do hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to be able to get more videos out at least once every other week. I don't think we're going to be able to continue with the weekly videos, but like I said, I hope we can do it every other week. We have just finished up our Planet Coaster career mode, so I am looking to get a new game on the channel, which will hopefully be coming out pretty soon, after I take a week off or something like that. Who knows what I'm going to do, but again, I do hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to let you watch this very choppy footage as we walk through what we had built here. Oh, I didn't realize that the hedges came through there. And I do hope you... wow, I'm just going to continue to say that over and over again. But again, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, make sure you leave a like. If you saw something you could have done different, or I could have done different, make sure you leave in the comments section. And if you want to find some more awesome Planet Coaster content, or maybe some other games, because we're soon going to have that, make sure you check out my channel, Mostly Average Matt. So again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.